Quavo posted something on Instagram this week. And depending on how closely you follow the circle, you either read it and kept scrolling, or you read it 3 times and started connecting things that nobody in the media is connecting right now. Because this was not a regular post. No snippet with adder, no release date, no label rollout, just a photo of him and Takeoff. And underneath it he wrote, "Warriors never fold. Jobs not finished. Takeoff album. Unk and Feud 2. Last album, real Migo blood run in my veins. Ain't no new chapter, just the next one." Now read that again, slowly, because there are multiple things packed into those lines. A posthumous Takeoff album, a second joint project between him and his late nephew, and then that last one, last album, with question marks after it. He did not explain it. He just put it there and let people sit with it. Within hours, Offset jumped on his own Instagram story, posted a photo of all 3 of them together, wrote 2 words. On dat, that is it. 2 words. And the entire hip-hop internet lost its mind. Now to understand why 2 words from Offset carry that kind of weight right now, you have to go back. The distance between Quavo and Offset did not happen with one big public fight that everybody saw. It was slow. It was quiet. Business disagreements were floating around for years. Loyalty questions that nobody fully answered publicly. And at some point, the unit just stopped being a unit. Culture 3 came out in 2021, debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. They did the press run, and then the group went silent. Quavo and Takeoff started working as a duo under Unk and Fu. Offset went solo. Nobody made a formal announcement. Nobody sat down and said Migos is over. It just dissolved the way a lot of things dissolve, without a clean ending. And then November 2022 came and changed everything permanently. Quavo and Takeoff were in Houston for a private party. After it ended, a large group gathered outside the venue. There was a dice game, money involved, an argument broke out, and then shots were fired. Houston police confirmed later that Takeoff had absolutely nothing to do with the argument. He was not in the dice game. He was not armed. He was standing there and he got caught in it. He was pronounced dead at the scene, 28 years old, and Quavo was there when it happened. That detail does not get talked about enough. People say Quavo lost his nephew and they move on to the next sentence. But Quavo was not grieving from across the country watching the news. He was in the same space. He was feet away. Video from the scene showed him in an orange shirt. People around him trying to figure out what just happened. That is not a loss you process the way you process a phone call telling you bad news. That is something that rewires how you see everything. After Takeoff passed, both Quavo and Offset paid tribute publicly, but they did it separately. They did not come together for it. And the distance between them did not close just because they shared a loss. They kept moving in their own lanes, carrying the same grief in different directions. Which is exactly why that Instagram exchange this week is bigger than it looks on the surface. When Quavo writes about a Takeoff album and puts question marks next to last album, and Offset responds on dat with a photo of all 3 of them, that is not a music announcement. That is 2 people who have been distant for years, who both lost someone they cannot replace, publicly standing on the same side of something for the first time. And they did it without a label pushing them, without a PR team crafting the messaging, without any rollout strategy behind it. 2 Instagram stories. That is all it took to send the entire hip-hop community into speculation mode. And honestly, the speculation is not unreasonable. Because here is something that did not get enough attention when it first came out. Quavo revealed in an interview back in 2023 that Takeoff left behind hundreds of unreleased songs. Hundreds. A man that gifted, that consistent, that quietly prolific.
So on like every phone probably got like 350 songs each phone. I got like 5 phones. He got like 3 phones.
Gone at 28, with an entire catalog sitting in storage that the world has never heard. And Quavo has been sitting on that, protecting it, figuring out the right way to handle it. The fact that he is now publicly talking about a Takeoff album, a sequel to their joint project, and something that sounds like a final Migos chapter, that is not casual. That is a man who has been thinking about this for a long time and finally saying it out loud. And then 2 days after those posts, the studio photo dropped. Offset put it on his Instagram story. One photo showed Quavo at the studio computer, focused, headphones probably on, locked in. Another photo showed Offset in the recording booth laying down vocals. Same session, same building, same night. First time the two of them have been in a studio together in 5 years. Nobody has confirmed what they were working on. No official statement from either camp, no label announcement, nothing. But here is the thing about posting those photos publicly. You do not do that by accident. You are not Quavo or Offset. With the combined fan base these two carry, accidentally letting studio content slip out. You post those photos because you want people to see them, because you want the energy to build, because what is coming deserves that level of anticipation behind it. That is not paranoia talking. That is just how the music industry works. When something real is being built, the signal comes before the confirmation every single time. And Quavo being in that studio is even more significant when you consider what else he has been doing. He confirmed a solo project executive produced by Pharrell Williams, recorded entirely at Louis Vuitton headquarters in Paris. That is not a small thing. That is a man who is fully locked into his own artistic world at a very high level. When someone operating at that level steps away from their own solo work to sit in a room with someone else, it means the thing they are building together matters more in that moment than the solo momentum. You do not give up that kind of energy for something casual. But none of this is happening in a vacuum. Because while all of this was building, Offset was going through something that would have broken a lot of people. April 6th, Hollywood, Florida. He was outside the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. An altercation broke out and shots were fired. Offset was hit. He was taken to Memorial Regional Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. His team confirmed he was stable. 4 days later, he was discharged and walking. And when he finally broke his silence publicly, he wrote, "Thank you to everyone who checked in on me and showed me love. I'm good, but I'm planning to be better. I'm focused on my family, my recovery, and getting back to the music. Realizing that life is made up of quiet wins and loud losses. Life's a gamble, and I'm still playing to win." Rapper Lil TJ was arrested in connection with the altercation that preceded the shooting, charged with disorderly conduct, not the shooting itself. His team denied direct involvement in the shooting. The full investigation into who fired the shots is still ongoing. Now think about everything else that was already sitting on Offset's plate before that bullet. Cardi B filed for divorce in 2024. Their split has been playing out publicly and in court ever since. 3 kids, Culture, Wave, and Blossom, right in the middle of a custody situation that has had multiple legal developments. Offset filed a request demanding a DNA test for Cardi's newborn with Stephon Diggs. Courts denied that request for that child, but approved testing for one of their other children. All of this public. All of this documented, all of it adding up. And after all of that, the divorce, the custody battle, the shooting, the hospital, Offset goes back to the studio. With Quavo, there is something in that decision that is easy to miss if you are just reading the headlines. This is not a man who is lost in his circumstances. This is a man who has looked at everything falling apart around him and decided the answer is to create. Life's a gamble and I'm still playing to win is not a PR line. That is a person telling you exactly where their head is. Now here is where the story takes the turn that nobody fully unpacked. Cardi B's Little Miss Drama Tour has been one of the most talked about runs of 2026. The numbers are real. 35 dates, over 450,000 tickets sold, $70 million grossed. The first full headlining arena tour of her career, and she went out and made it historic right from the jump. In February, she became the first female rapper to sell out 2 consecutive nights at the Kia Forum in Inglewood. She sold out Madison Square Garden back-to-back. The whole run was a statement. The Florida stop was at Amarant Bank Arena in Sunrise. Ozuna was there that night. Vibe B. Des Gartel was there. Miami legend Trina was on the stage. The lineup was strong. But when the show ended and the clips started circulating, none of those performers dominated the conversation. Quavo was in the crowd. He was not a guest. He was not brought out for a performance. He was in the audience, watching, and T-shirt came on, the 2017 Migos track, and he was rapping every single word, his own song, from the crowd. Video of it spread within minutes, and the internet had a very immediate and very loud read on what it meant. Because the optics of this are very specific. Quavo showing up to the ex-wife's show of the man he has had a complicated history with, in the middle of a bitter ongoing divorce, looks like a choice. It looks like picking a side, and that was the take that spread fastest, that Quavo was putting himself in Cardi's corner against Offset. That take misses almost everything important about this moment. Quavo and Cardi's connection is not new, and it is not about Offset. Their 2017 collaboration, Motorsport, was a genuine moment. Real chemistry, real history between them. That friendship predates the Migos split, predates the divorce, predates all of this current situation. They have been in each other's world for almost a decade, and Quavo did not show up at that show to make a statement about Offset. He showed up because Cardi is someone he has actually been close to for years. But the part that hits differently when you really look at it is what was playing when that video was captured. T-shirt is not just a hit record. That song has all three of them on it. Takeoff is on that record. Quavo, standing in a sold-out arena, surrounded by thousands of people, hearing his own voice and Takeoff's voice coming back at him from the speakers. That is not a simple vibe moment. That is grief and memory and love all hitting at once in the middle of a crowd where nobody around him is feeling exactly what he is feeling. And then Cardi saw him on the screens and stopped her show. She called out names from the stage, people she loves, people who matter to her, and then she said it clearly and she said it loud. Shout out to my brother Quavo, rest in peace Takeoff. In the same breath, she called him her brother in front of a sold-out arena, and she put Takeoff's name right next to it without any hesitation. She knew Quavo was in that building. She knew every camera in that arena was going to capture whatever she said next, and she chose to say that. She chose to acknowledge him as family and to keep Takeoff's memory present in the same moment. That was not accidental. That was Cardi telling the whole room, and really telling the whole internet exactly where she stands and what this circle means to her, regardless of what the lawyers are sorting out in the background. And Cardi also reached out to Offset after the shooting. Despite the divorce, despite everything being contested in court, despite all of it, she checked on him, because at the end of it, he is the father of her children, and some things are bigger than the paperwork. Now step back and look at the full picture. Quavo posts about Takeoff's legacy and hints at a final project with question marks. Offset says on dat publicly and posts a photo of all three of them. They end up back in a studio, together for the first time in 5 years. Offset gets shot in the state of Florida, survives, walks out of the hospital, and goes back to making music. Quavo shows up to Cardi's show in that same state, stands in the crowd, raps along to a Migos song, and Cardi stops her performance to call him her brother and say Takeoff's name out loud. Every single one of these things is connected, not loosely, not by coincidence, actually connected through one thread, and that thread is Takeoff. Everything Quavo is doing right now is carrying that weight. Every post, every studio session, every time he shows up somewhere and lets himself be seen, it is one man refusing to let what they built disappear, because the person who was part of building it is gone. He wrote it himself. Ain't no new chapter, just the next one. He is not trying to start something new. He is trying to finish what they started. He is trying to give that story an ending that they chose instead of one that was handed to them by a dice game in Houston that went wrong. And Offset, walking out of a hospital after being shot, with a divorce in court and custody battles ongoing, and going back to the studio. That is the same energy from a different angle. Life's a gamble and I'm still playing to win. Two men who lost their third. Both of them still standing. Both of them still moving. Both of them back in the same room for the first time in 5 years. Nothing has been confirmed. No release date. No album title. No label announcement. Just a studio photo on an Instagram story. 2 words on a post, a shout out from a stage in Florida. But in hip-hop, the moves always come before the confirmation. Always. And right now, the moves are speaking loud enough without any announcement attached to them. Something is being built. And when it comes out, it is not going to sound like just another project. It is going to sound like closure. For Quavo, for Offset, for everyone who ever loved what those 3 made together. That is the part nobody is really talking about.